I've crossed over to Idaho, definitely excited for a new state, and I've kind of crossed over. I'm currently driving, I turned left there at the border, and now I'm driving on Border Road. And the Oregon Trail kind of split a little bit, the map that I have, and I want to go see, this way looks a little less traveled maybe. We cross over into Idaho right here on US 30, and we're going to head south on that border road, and then we're going to turn right. You can see the red dots of the Oregon Trail, how it's kind of split two different ways. So we're going to follow this little southern part that goes back around and connects right up here in the little possible town of Alton. And then we're going to be right back on US 30 for the rest of the day, as we're going to go up through some towns up here, and we'll be following the Oregon Trail right along US 30. There's a few towns along the way that are just a little bit off there, so we'll maybe go check those out. But pretty much we're following right on US 30 all the way to Soda Springs, where we'll be staying the night there. This is where US 89, which was my summer trip last year, and the Oregon Trail intersect right here in Montpelier, Idaho. As you can see, the clouds are rolling in, and I'm rolling into my destination of Soda Springs, Idaho. And so gonna probably wait till tomorrow to explore around Soda Springs, since it's kind of it's looking a little grim, but definitely got through the day. That was the goal, and excited to get some rest after today. So staying at another classic hotel. So let's see what this one's like. I had the option of sharing a bathroom or not. Paid a couple extra dollars for the private bathroom, so let's check it out. Good morning. I am in Soda Springs, Idaho, and behind me is the world's only captive geyser. And that means they control it, and it erupts once an hour. So it's an actual geyser, but it's capped and it's controlled to be kind of a tourist attraction. So Let's start our day in Soda Springs here with eruption of a geyser. It's supposed to happen on the hour, so we'll see how accurate that is. And then we'll show you around Soda Springs and then head a couple different directions today. The trail is splitting right here. The Oregon Trail, the original Oregon Trail, is going to go north. I'm going to try to go down some back roads and see if I can make it that way. It looks like kind of, back roads all the way. And then I'm going to double back and then go back up kind of through some main roads, which would be the normal tourist route to go, especially if you don't have, like four-wheel drive or something like that. So I'm going to go two different ways and show you both different routes today. Start the day here in Soda Springs. We're heading west right along the Oregon Trail. This is where it splits, and we're gonna first take this route. So the Oregon Trail, the dots go right this way. We're gonna take it as far as we can, and then since we can't, there's no roads right here, we're gonna cut over and make sure we connect with any town that's along the way there. Once we get over here, so this is the Lander cutoff that comes from Wyoming. So we didn't go that way, but just to give you a point of reference, this is where we're eventually going to connect over here on a different map. But we're going to get up here, and then the Oregon Trail goes this way. As we flip the map, this is where we're going to attempt to go. The road does not look very good right here, but we're going to see what we can find. And then this would be where we connect with the Lander cutoff eventually. If we can't go that way, we may have to turn around and go back north on the other page. Once we get connected with the Lander cutoff, we are in the Fort Hall Indian Reservation. Then we will head on over to Fort Hall, head south towards Pocatello, and then we'll go back to where we started the day. So I got all the way up to almost where the Lander cutoff is, and I found this sign that says I'm in the Fort Hall Indian Reservation and it's restricted access. And I always try to follow the rules of signs if I ever see something like that. But I really wanted to go this way, but I wasn't going to. I actually had one bar of cell phone service, so I was going to try to call the number I could find for the Indian reservation and ask if I can drive through here. And then while I was literally getting ready to call, a local rancher came through where I was going, and I asked him, and he said, as long as you stay on the road and you're just driving through, shouldn't be any issue. So that's where we're going to head. We're going to head right through the Fort Hall Indian Reservation. We're getting ready to meet up with the Lander Cutoff and then head west towards Fort Hall. I don't think there's been too many people drive on this part of the Oregon Trail. I kind of feel privileged. That's the grass. It hasn't been mowed here very much, but certainly you need a high clearance vehicle and four-wheel drive if you're going to attempt this. Probably not the smartest thing I've ever done, but pretty cool out here. It's really, really beautiful. The road leaves a little bit to be desired. I just don't think it ever gets used. This guy does not want to get out of my way. He's been leading me down the path. Another reason I was reluctant to go through the Indian Reservation is because COVID really affected Indian reservations pretty significantly. When I was on Route 66 a couple years ago, you couldn't go in any of the towns, and I think there's still some reluctance to have outsiders into the reservation. So I haven't seen anybody yet. This has been an unbelievably kind of treacherous drive. So definitely do not take a car if you go this way. Probably just shouldn't go this way anyways, but yeah, I am on the actual Oregon Trail, probably going about as fast as one of the wagons did back in the day. The road is getting a little better. This is way better than what I've been driving through. That was a tough drive. I would not recommend going that way. I'd recommend going up a little bit farther north and then taking Lone Pine Road this way. But I made it. Thank you to the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Hopefully when I turn it in in Oregon, when I get to my destination, I don't have to pay too much extra for any damage. But it looks pretty good. Definitely you need to make sure you have a great vehicle to get through there, because if you break down, get a flat tire, I mean, there's no phone service. You have a long way to go. Anyway, I'm still a long way now from anywhere. But even back there, the only things I saw were a few birds and some cattle, and they were reacting to me like they hadn't seen vehicles come through there very often. So I've made it to the Narrows Road, great name, and right that way is where, right here at this intersection, from whatever, I don't even think that road had a name, to here is where the Lander Cutoff and the Oregon Trail met, right here. And so from here they connected and they went straight that way towards Fort Hall. Talked about how the railroad followed the Oregon Trail, and look at where they put the railroad, man. And this does not really even kind of do it justice. So I just got stopped by some maintenance guys that work here on the reservation, and I explained what I was doing. They were super nice. They said there aren't very many people that do what I'm doing, so but yeah, they thought that was cool. I was trying to follow the Oregon Trail, and they were very knowledgeable about how it goes right through here. So we're almost back to a main road, so we're getting closer. goals is on this trip is to try to just imagine going through there. And there were ruts, like maybe saw in some of the videos, there were ruts everywhere. And obviously they weren't wagon ruts, they were ruts made by vehicles or by drainage. And constantly I'm trying to figure out where to go, where to put the wheels. I just can't imagine, what it was like for those pioneers to go through that and all throughout the trail. So, it puts it in more perspective when you really get out here and you experience the exact areas, the exact paths that the Oregon Trail was in the 1800s. It's remarkable. Now on the more touristy main route, we're gonna be back here at Alexander. We're gonna head straight west on US 30. We're gonna take US 30 all the way until it basically hits Interstate 15. We'll stay on US 30, but it's gonna parallel with US 15 as we head north. We'll continue to head north and follow I-15 and US 30. It curves this way and eventually gets to Pocatello. The Fort Hall replica museum is there, even though Fort Hall is up here. The museum is right here. I think they put it there maybe to get in a little more populated area. So we're gonna see some things. It's one of the bigger cities we've been to for a while. After leaving Pocatello, there's not a lot of places to stop or do stuff between there and my stop for the day, American Falls. So I'm gonna roll into American Falls, check it out. I was trying to find somewhere to stay, and there's only a couple hotels that I could find, hardly anything I could find online, maybe only one hotel. And when I called earlier today, nice lady answered and said, give me a call back 30 minutes before you get here. So it didn't take my name, didn't take a reservation. I was like, are there gonna be rooms available? And she said, yeah, there'll be rooms available. So I don't even know how much it costs. I don't know. I tried to do everything I could to find out about the hotel, and I think maybe they just opened, like last week. So I've not made all good decisions today. So we'll see how this one turns out.